All right, guys, here we are, part two of this run and gun rig setup. So if you guys watched the previous video, you saw what I did yesterday, setting up the Ninja V with the zoom f1. I had to make a couple of modifications because I noticed that no matter how I placed the Ninja V, the microphone still couldn't clear it. So I still may have to make some additional adjustments when it comes to this specific type of rig, but we'll see how that goes. For the most part, I think it's going to work out just fine. So like I said before, if for some reason I wanted to set this up on a tripod, a normal size tripod, I would just mount the monitor where it's facing in this direction, which would then give me a view of whatever's coming through the lens, and then that would work out perfectly. But today what we're going to be looking at is how I'm going to set this up with the Zhiyun Crane 3 Lab, and this is a little bit different. So if you guys are familiar with the Zhiyun Crane 3 Lab, it's basically a 3-axis gimbal. And let me just lock these in place real quick for you guys so it looks more normal. Okay, so there's your 3-axis gimbal. And generally, you would have your camera mounted here on this quick release plate. And then the other situation you would want to have in most cases is some way to view your footage or what you're capturing. Now, depending on which camera you're using, it's a good chance that the back screen is going to be good enough, but if you're outdoors in bright sunlight, that's going to be a problem. So there again is where the Ninja V comes in handy with that 1000 nits. So I was looking for a monitor mount that would work perfectly for this type of setup. Now, Zhiyun also makes one like this, and I think Small Rig does as well, but this specific one came from a company called Digital Photo, I think it is, Photo, F-O-O-F-O-T-O. I'll post it in the links down in the description. But this unit comes with a few other accessories, and what's nice about it is you do have a few mounting points, and you have a built-in cold shoe depending on how you want to mount your monitor. So if you're going to mount your monitor where it's facing down, or if you're going to mount the monitor where the handle is facing up, that's totally up to you. So what else comes along in the packaging is a phone mount. So if you guys have been following this specific gimbal from Zhiyun, it has the ability to broadcast a signal from your camera to your smartphone. And you're going to need something in order to hold your smartphone in place. Now, Zhiyun makes a handle or a mount for your smartphone. I think it's about $50. This with the phone mount and some hardware to connect it to other types of gimbals like the Ronin. You know, it comes with a little hardware and a couple of screws so you connect that to the Ronin itself. And it also comes with 3/8 insert screw so that you can make it match up with whatever it is you're trying to connect it to. So that's good. All of that came, and it was only $28. So let's get started. So you have two options here. You can mount this at the rear, like so. So if you wanted your monitor to be closer to you, back here from your handheld, or if you want it to be more forward-facing, where it's up near where the follow focus is, you could also place it there. I'm more of a fan of it being closer back here because when I'm holding the gimbal, the monitor is going to be closer to my face so I get a better view of when everything is still in focus. Now, if you're going to be using this for a smartphone, you would have to adjust this. And let me show you something here real quick. This does have the little teeth so that it locks in with these teeth, which prevents it from moving around. So let's say if you wanted your smartphone to be mounted on here, you would start it off maybe about at that angle. And then you would be able to connect just like so. And then you could easily mount your smartphone. So you could easily mount your smartphone like so. And if you're receiving the wireless transmission to your smartphone, depending on the smartphone unit that you're using, you'll definitely be able to use this as some type of monitor. Now, from every example of this that I have seen anyone use or test, there's quite a bit of latency. So that's going to be a big issue if you're trying to pull focus. This is good to have, but it's not something that I would personally use. But what I will use is the way that this is set up here. I would adjust it to maybe about there. All right, guys. So then I would basically take the monitor, and it depends on which side you want it to be facing. Now you can always flip the monitor if you want the HDMI to be closer to the handle. You can flip the monitor upside down, and then you would just have to go into your settings and then flip it upside down. But depending on which cable you're using, you should have more than enough length to get it around from your camera mount. So as you know, I don't script these videos, guys. I just give you the information as I see it, how I think it'll benefit you if you're going to be working with something like this. So ideally, this is what you would get. So you'd have your monitor here. So if you're running and gunning, you have the video feed coming in from your monitor. You're recording with the recording feature of the Ninja V. If you choose to record, you may just want to use it, as a really good monitor. So that's always another option. And then, obviously you're going to have your cable running from your camera's mini HDMI down to this full HDMI. So you want to take that into consideration, the distance and how much wire you may use. Now, the one that I'm currently using has a coil. So we'll see what that looks like. So even a coiled cable connected here. And then this would just run up to your camera. That does feel like it has a little bit of tension on it. But if you remember, my cameras, all of the cages have cable retention. So you can easily lock the cable in place and you don't have to worry about it moving as much. But like I said before, you also have the other option of flipping the monitor in the opposite direction. Now, another option that you have, depending on how you want everything to flow, you can always mount this upside down. And then you could mount your monitor upside down like so. So you could go this direction, or you could go in reverse like I said before. And then that way you are able to, then you could run your cable around the handle and up. But most likely you're going to need a much longer cable than what I have here. That's going to be a concern. So ideally for me, I think what I'm going to have to do with what I have on hand right now is to mount the monitor closer to the camera. So what I'll do is I would mount the monitor here. So I'd mount that here, and then replace the Ninja V here. Now I have much shorter distance for that cable to travel. And you're still going to have all the same flexibility, the same movement. There should be no bumping into the monitor. Now, this is going to be a problem when the monitor is rotating. When this handle here is rotating. So we may have to go back to our original plan, which was to swing this downward. So I'm probably better off with that being on the opposite side. And then we'll just lock this down. And now we have our monitor locked down. And then our cable could run up to the camera, no problem. Let me mount the camera so you guys can see exactly what this complete setup would look like. All right, guys. even though this is a little top heavy, you kind of get the idea. So your monitor is going to rest low. Obviously, all of these other accessories would not be above here. Easily enough, I could reposition the microphone down here. And the microphone can fit right here in this cold shoe. And depending on the angle, it should be good to go. Now, it's a little bit off axis for right now, but I can always use some other type of adapter to just bring it up just a little bit so that it's level with the plane of focus from the camera. But I think you guys get the idea. So obviously you'd want your microphone to be somewhere in this range where it's recording, and then it still should not be in the way, but I think that still may be an issue. So let's see how far that's going to swing out. Yeah, see, it won't hit the monitor, but it would definitely hit this microphone if it was there. So that won't work. So the microphone would still probably have to still live up here on top of the camera somehow if you need that. But there are other options, you know, as far as mounting it on a different arm off to the side, or maybe even a different arm where it's forward of the gimbal itself. There's, you know, you're only limited by your imagination. But anyway, guys, I want to do a really quick video to show you exactly how I would be using this complete setup in future shoots that are coming up. And, you know, hopefully this situation that we're in right now won't hinder too many of them, because we do have quite a few things coming up this season. And all the way into the middle of next year, we're already booked. So that's a blessing. So again, I want to do another video. So hopefully this will help someone decide on which direction they want to go with their gear. Hopefully this will help you. If, like we said before, you have any questions, something you're not sure about, or maybe you even have a better idea of a setup, I'm open to that. Feel free to leave that in the comments. All right, guys, until next time, it's been your boy Rome. I will catch you guys in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, comment. Peace. I'm out.